Hello and welcome back to another episode of Roblox Stepford County Railway. My name is Wizzy, you can also call me Wizzy, and today we're once again driving some more trains on Roblox. Now, last week I did attempt a video. I'm not going to get too much further on the menus right here for a moment. I did attempt a video last week. I ran into an error while playing, and I didn't really have the time after that to record or try the video again. Which is probably good in a way, because if we go into driver here, I probably could have gone into driver mode here. When we go to the operator, you will see there is now a fifth operator, and that is Metro. It is finally here. So that's what we're going to do for this episode. I did have to buy, I think this one was a free train, from what it sounded like. And I bought all the other trains. I bought all the routes that were here. I haven't gone through, in fact, I haven't even updated my spreadsheet for this yet. So I'm going to have to do that basically when I'm done this video. But that's fine. But anyways, yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do the class 555. I like this train the best, the 555. It is the slowest, but to be honest, the way the Metro is set up and everything, you really don't need anything faster than this anyways. And I did join a smaller server. As you can see, there's not a ton of people here. And that way we don't have to worry about too much or too many crowds or too many trains in the main corridor of the metro area here. But yeah, I did actually record a video going into the metro here for the first time. I didn't have my microphone on or anything like that, and the game sound didn't seem to record, but I get that. It seems like it's working now, so I don't know what was the problem then. But anyways, enough talking. Let's get into it. We're going to do some news, and there are some news stations, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Stepford Central to Barton Clockwise. And we're going to drive. And we're going to start at Stepford, actually no, let's stop at Barely, or spawn at Barely. Oh, that depot's currently busy. Maybe what we'll do then is Helens Bridge to Port Benton, I guess? I actually haven't done that part. Or gone to Port Benton with the Metro yet, so at least here we can get in. Yeah, I've been playing this quite a bit lately. Like I said, this just came out, so... And I love the way these trains look, and I love the interior of this train as well, because it actually looks more like a metro train. As opposed to the other trains. Like I said, this is the slowest one, but that's fine. Once we get to Port Benton, I will take a look at the routes that we have here. I'll probably go to... see if we can get to Stepford Central from there on this route. or service, whatever. But we'll see. Although this was to St. Helens Bridge, which maybe I'll just do that anyways when we get to Port Benton. And then we can kind of go from there back to Barton, which is the new station. And this is a 10-car train, because I got the double, so stop at this sign here.
This station is Benton. This train is for Port Benton. The next station will be Port Benton.
But yeah, once we get moving again, or get to Port Benton, I will take a look at the, or show you guys the map for this service operator.
Is a metro service to Port Benton. The next station will be Port Benton.
But yeah, it is exciting that this is finally here. We knew it was going to be coming at some point. But here we are finally.
Now approaching Port Benton. Change here for services to Greenslade and Morganstown. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This train terminates here. All change, please.
Now, hopefully I don't run in or get that error this time while we're playing, because I really want to get this video up as well. I suppose if I'm not able to today, I'll try and, or if it doesn't work out today, I will try another day to record this. Okay, so here we are at Port Benton. I'll take a look at the map, and this is the map here.
Port Benton.
So we're terminating here, which is kind of interesting.
All change, please.
Of course, we goes to Morganstown. We have this loop here, and that's where I wanted to go, but it's kind of busy along through there. So we're going to do next leg.
Train now standing at platform 3 is the 2158.
So
Service to St. Helens Bridge.
Once we get to St. Helens Bridge here, I believe I can choose Barton.
Angel Pass.
So we'll do that.
St. Helens Bridge.
And then once we get to Barton,
This train is
we will then
bridges.
select Stepford Central. And then maybe from there we'll go to Stepford UFC. We'll see. But yeah, so this is the map for the new metro service. So Four Ways is a new station. Coxly, Newtown, and Barton are also new stations. And that is it for new stations. Only 3 new stations, but of course, and through here, these are stations that are part of a line that already existed. These are the connect lines that these run on. And it runs on connect lines up through here, and here. But then, of course, this is its own thing here. And then through here, it's all underground, which we will find out later, or see later.
This is a metro service to St Helens Bridge. Calling at Benton, Coxly, Bowden, Angel Pass and St Helens Bridge. The next station will be Benton.
But yeah, it is kind of cool because it shows your next stop here, shows the time that you're supposed to arrive, shows your route number there, shows you how many cars you have. Which I kind of forgot that I showed that when I said I had the 10-car train. I was just remembering from the train that I selected, obviously, but I could have looked there and seen that I have a 10-car train. So...
Now approaching Benton. Change here for services to Stepford Airport Central, Connolly, Esterfield, Farley.
So it'd be kind of cool if they had the metro go to Airport Stepford Central.
2. Please mind
Or
the gap
Airport
between the train
Stepford
and the
Airport.
St Helens Bridge. Calling at Coxly, Bowden, Angel Pass and St Helens Bridge. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
One thing about running this route, though, is we're not going to run into too much traffic here.
is Benton.
Most of the
This
traffic
train is for
going to be here
St Helens Bridge. The next station will
Your
be
in the main
Coxly.
corridor.
The 2201 Stepford Express service to Stepford Central has been cancelled.
Yeah, this
This is
server's
due
dying
to
out.
A member of the train crew being
That's fine.
unavailable.
At least that way we
Platform
won't
11
really have to worry
for
about too much
2201
traffic too, so...
Stepford Express service to
This is a metro service to St Helens Bridge. Calling at Coxly, Bowden, Angel Pass and St Helens Bridge. The next station will be Coxly.
Can only go half the speed limit up here. But yeah, I know I was in a server yesterday, last night. There was probably maybe 30, 40 people in the server, and the main quarter was still like
Now approaching
packed.
Coxly. Please mind the gap between the train.
So that's why I
and the
wanted to make sure I was in a little bit of a smaller server. Although the only problem with the smaller servers on this game
St Helens Bridge.
is they do tend to die
This
out.
train is formed of 10 coaches.
Although they do get revived, but sometimes they don't. I don't think there are any passengers now.
Coxly.
Oh, there's one, but they
This
might be in the
train
menu.
is for St Helens Bridge. The next station will be
Yeah, there's only
Bowden.
11 of us in the server now. When I joined, it was like 29. So...
is a metro service to St Helens Bridge. The next station will be Bowden.
But yeah, that station right there, that was the abandoned station before. But now that is a metro station. You can see the tracks coming up from down there, right here.
Now approaching Bowden. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Now what I think I might do is next week I might
This train is
do the video that I basically, well, not next week, but the week after, because next week I'll be doing British Railway again. But the week after, the video after, when I come back to Stepford County Railway, I'm gonna do the video that I attempted to do last time,
This train is for St Helens Bridge.
which is a
The
Connect
next station
service
will be Angel
per
Pass.
operator. Couple routes. So yeah, I guess I'll try and do that next week, or the next Stepford County Railway video. Since I wasn't really able to do that before. Well, I mean, I was, but we had an
This
error
is a metro
happen
service
with it.
to
So
St Helens Bridge. Now approaching Angel Pass. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
now, of course, so far these stations.
Helens Bridge.
Now, this station I think did get a little bit
St
changed
Helens
with this
Bridge
update,
only.
but those other
This
stations so
train is
far
one of 10 coaches.
didn't really have much change to them. Yeah, I think this did get changed a little bit.
Angel Pass. This train,
Of course, this now has the signs
Helens
for
Bridge.
Metro
the
here.
next station will be St Helens Bridge.
And St. Helens Bridge hasn't been changed at all either.
This is a metro service to St Helens Bridge. The next station will be St Helens Bridge. We are now approaching St Helens Bridge. Change
Now, I
here
do want to just
for
give a
services
warning
to
now,
Barton,
or right now anyways.
Beachley,
Well, this area kind of did get a little bit changed. But
Morganstown,
anyways,
Stepford Central, Stepford Victoria,
you may end up hearing some
Willowfield.
background noises
Please
later
mind the
on
gap
in the
between
video.
train and the platform.
Benton.
This train
And if you do, I just
terminates
want to
here.
apologize for
All
that
change,
now.
please.
And I just want to warn you guys about that for now. Now I'm assuming this T sign here is for terminating trains.
Station is St. Helens Bridge. This train terminates here. All change, please. Thank you for travelling with us.
Okay, so let's take a look, see if we can get to Barton from here. I think we can. Change route, Barton. Yep. Okay.
The train now standing at platform 4 is the 2210 metro service to Barton via Bowden. Calling at Angel Pass.
Yeah, so we're going to be going
Coxly, Newtown,
this way
and
around,
Barton.
stop here. Then once we get to
This
Barton,
train
we will
is
choose to go
formed
to
of 10
Stepford Central.
coaches.
And then once we get to Stepford Central, we will go to Stepford UFC.
Platform 2 for the 2209 Stepford Express service to Stepford Central. Calling at
Now this train
Stepford
obviously
Central
has
only.
these
This train is
platform
formed of
extender
5
things on the
coaches.
train itself
First class is located at the front
as
of
well.
the train.
Or I say platform extenders. But
This is a metro service to Barton. Calling at Angel
yeah, so like I
Pass,
said, later I'm gonna have to update my
Coxly, Newtown, and Barton.
spreadsheet a bit.
The next station will be Angel Pass. Now approaching Angel Pass. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
And Barton. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
Now of course we were just here. After Bowden, where the tracks go under, that's where
This
we're going to be
station
going.
is
So we'll be splitting
Angel
off from
Pass.
this line from
This
there.
train is for Barton. The next station will be Bowden.
Yeah, I believe this is the only train as well, like I said, that has the actual metro look or metro train look inside, or for the interior. That light trips me up every single time. It's like I think I'm gonna
Is a
stab,
metro
but that's for the other
service
track.
to
So it's like,
Barton.
and it's like I'm the one that triggered that light to turn red.
We are now approaching Bowden. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
And the timetable so far doesn't seem too bad, time-wise. I think so. It can, because it knows there'll be traffic, whatever. Well, not really that, but more to account for the slower train. And one thing that's cool is the lights here. when the door is opening, the interior lights here
This train
flash
is
red,
for
and
Barton.
lights on the
The
exterior of
next
the doors
station
here are
will be
red.
Coxly,
And once they
Newtown.
become open, these turn like yellow or white, whatever. And then this turns green. And then when they close, you can see those start flashing red. Those turn red. And once it's closed, those turn off. Which is pretty cool.
Is a metro service to Barton. The next station will be Coxly, Newtown.
So down to 45. Probably slowed down a bit earlier than I needed to, but yeah, now there's only 4 of us in this server, so we're really not going to run into traffic now. That's fine.
Now approaching Coxly, Newtown. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Yeah, I do really like the look of this station.
Calling at Barton.
I think this is my favorite station out of the new,
This train is formed of 10 coaches.
basically, stations that we have. I mean, there's only 3 new stations, but the other stations that we do have that are underground are technically new as well. Even though they're at the same station as we've had before.
Is Coxly, Newtown. This train is for Barton. The next station will be Barton.
But it's cool too because this has like an openness to it as well.
We are now approaching Barton. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
But yeah, these stations are pretty
This
close
train
together, obviously,
terminates
since
All change.
before we even depart, it's saying that we're now approaching the next station.
This is a metro service to Barton.
Now approaching platform 2. Terminates here. This train is the service from St. Helens Bridge.
Is Barton. This
Okay,
train
and then once
terminates
this
here.
is done,
All
like I said, we
change,
will
please.
select Stepford
Thank
Central.
you for travelling with us.
So we're going to do change routes, we're going to do Stepford Central.
The train now standing
And
at
from here, we're going to
platform 2
continue
is
this
the
direction.
22,
So we're going to go through
18
this way
Metro service
into
to
Stepford Central. And like I said, once we get here,
via
we'll go
Ellesmere
back to
Junction.
Stepford UFC.
Calling
And we'll
at
end the video
Ellesmere
there.
Junction, Ellesmere Pond,
Although, depending on the
New
time,
Harrow,
maybe we can go back
St.
to
Helens
Stepford
Bridge,
Central, but
High Street, Stepford
we'll
East,
see. Like I said, depending on the time.
and Stepford Central. Due to a short platform, passengers for Ellesmere Pond
And then there were
and
2.
New Harrow should travel in the front
Me
8
and this
coaches.
guy. Or
This
girl.
train is formed of 10 coaches.
Now there is one thing I noticed up here too, and you'll see it up off the left up here.
This is a metro
There is a little bit of a
to
branch up here,
Stepford Central.
but it doesn't go anywhere, so I'm
Ellesmere
guessing
Junction,
at some point
Ellesmere Pond,
they're planning on
Harrow,
extending
St Helens
or
Bridge,
adding a section
High Street,
off that way.
Stepford East, Fourways, and Stepford Central. The next station will be Ellesmere Junction. We are now approaching Ellesmere Junction. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Stepford Central. Due to a short platform, passengers for Ellesmere Pond and Newbury should travel in the front 8 coaches. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
Now, one thing
Is
I know one person
Ellesmere
mentioned in one of the
Junction.
servers,
this train is
which is
for
kind of funny though,
Stepford Central.
is Morganstown
The next station
now
will
has
be
5 operators
Ellesmere
that stop
Pond.
at it. I think it's the only station that has every single operator that stops at it, which is kind of funny. It's like right here on these 2 tracks, you have Connect and Metro that uses these 2, and then those tracks
We are
over
now
there.
approaching Ellesmere Pond.
You have Airlink and
Please
Express
mind
that
the gap
uses those
between
tracks.
the train and the platform.
And then Waterline
Due to a short
comes in from
platform,
here.
the doors in the
And
rear
you have
coaches
Waterline,
will not open. Please move forward to
Metro,
leave the
and
train.
Express that uses that section
This is a metro
there.
service to Stepford Central.
Now this station got a bit of an upgrade with this update, which is kind of cool.
To travel in the front 8 coaches. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
Station is Ellesmere Pond.
Oh,
This
I'm the only
train
one in the
is
server now.
for Stepford Central. The next station will be New Harrow.
It's almost like if I did my own private server. Which we will do at some point later on down in this series. That way I can showcase the guarding, dispatching, and
Is a
signaling.
metro service to Stepford Central.
Because in your own VIP servers, you have access to all the roles. So,
Now approaching New Harrow. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
yeah, I
Due
think
to a
this
short
station got an
platform,
upgrade
The
too.
doors in the rear coaches will not open. Please move forward
Or maybe
to
not.
leave the train.
High Street, Stepford East,
Actually, no, I
Fourways,
might not have.
and Stepford Central. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
See, I always find it interesting. They have, in some stations, they have like a Metro 555, 777 sign like
New
this,
Harrow.
where it says all.
This train
But
is
here it
for
has both the
Stepford
8 to 10 SDO, whatever that
The next
means,
station will
and the
be
4 and
St
5
Helens
here.
Bridge.
together. Wouldn't it make more sense just to put the all on it? If somebody knows the reason for that, let me know. I don't know the reason for it. Doesn't make any sense to me personally. I feel like it'd be, like I said, easier just to put one sign that says all instead of putting both those signs in. But
This
What
is
do
a
I
metro
know?
service to
obviously,
Stepford
on,
Central.
as far as that goes, not much.
The next station will be St Helens Bridge. Now approaching St Helens Bridge. Change here for services to Stepford Airport Central, Benton, and
Like I said, you may
Morganstown.
hear some background
Please mind the
noises.
gap
If you
between
do,
the
I
train and the
apologize.
platform.
Fourways and Stepford Central. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
If I need to, I might mute the microphone. So. So after this station, we'll be then going underground
St Helens Bridge. This train is
for
for
the remainder of these
Stepford
stations.
Central. The next
Well, until we do
station
the
will
Stepford
be
UFC
High
branch.
Street. Is a metro service to Stepford Central. The next station will be High Street.
And down we go.
We are now approaching High Street. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Metro service to Stepford Central. Calling at Stepford East.
Now all these stations,
And
they
Stepford
have
Central.
letter designations for the
This
platforms.
train is formed of 10
Yeah, see
coaches.
here they have the all sign.
Is High
You
Street.
have that curved
This train
platform
is
over
for
there.
Stepford Central. The next station will be Stepford East.
That goes towards Stepford UFC, which we'll be going to.
This is a metro service to Stepford Central. The next station will be Stepford East.
Yeah, you can spawn in from here. There's two tracks right there where you can spawn in from. Oh. Come on. Okay, what's going on? Not gonna get an error, are we? I hope not. We did. I might have to pause this here. And we will come back to this. So, like I said, we're going to pause the recording here. And I will see you in a moment. Oh, well, maybe. I don't need to. Oh, and we're in a big server now. Now the question is, do I want to continue with this server? I think probably not. So what we're gonna do is, I am gonna pause the recording here, and then we will be back here momentarily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Okay, so we're back. I decided to spawn in because we're basically right by where we were before. We were over here where it kind of stopped us. Actually, up by this signal here. So I decided to spawn in from this siding here. Like I said, that was explaining where you could spawn in, but continuing the service we were doing before. Slow down, stop. Going too fast, I'm gonna stab or go overshoot. We overshot. Well, that's not a good start coming back in, but anyways, so I joined a 10-person server, although it looks like there's less than that now.
Stepford Central. The next
Yeah, there's only 9 of us now, so...
4 ways.
I tried joining a 13-person server before this, but... when I tried spawning in there, that depot was busy, so I decided to leave and go into this server.
This is a metro service to Stepford Central. Calling at 4 ways.
Now let's try not to overshoot the next platforms.
We are now
Yeah, I do kind of like the looks of this station as well coming up.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Yeah, that's better. I do kind of find it funny that they have the shingles for the sides.
This
siding
is for Stepford Central. The next station will be Stepford Central.
Feels like that's the fastest anyone has done the second whistle after the doors closing like that.
This is a metro service to Stepford Central.
Yeah,
The
this
next
server's
station
dying out
will
too.
be Stepford Central. Now approaching Stepford Central. Change here for services to Stepford Airport Central, Beachley, Benton, Stepford Victoria, and Willowfield. Please mind the gap.
That guy driving
Train
looks like
and
the
platform.
717.
This train terminates here. All change, please.
Okay.
Station is Stepford Central.
So I think we were about
This train
41
terminates
minutes
here.
into the video
All change, please.
when
Thank you
I
for
basically
travelling
had
with
to
us.
cut the video out, or not cut the video out, but pause the recording, or actually in this case stop it.
The train now standing at platform C is the 2237 metro service to Stepford UFC. Calling
We're
at
at 5 minutes into this
Stepford
recording,
East.
Of course, I'm gonna have to combine the two, which
Whitefield
is
Leader,
fine.
and Stepford UFC. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
It's funny seeing platform C down here instead of a platform number. Because before it was all just numbered platforms.
Platform 3 terminates here.
This is a metro service to Stepford UFC, calling at Four Ways.
And after that,
East,
after that
High
station,
Whitefield Leader,
going this way,
Stepford UFC.
it goes above ground
The
and going
next
back up
station
where
will
they
be
connect
Four Ways.
tracks.
We are now approaching Four Ways. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Metro service to Stepford UFC. Calling at Stepford East, High Street, Whitefield Lido, and Stepford UFC. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
This station is Four Ways. This train is for Stepford UFC. The next station will be Stepford East.
And off we go again. Yeah, I think we'll have time maybe to
Metro service to
go back to Stepford Central.
Stepford UFC. Now approaching Stepford East. Change here for services to Barton and Berrily. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Calling at High Street, Whitefield Lido, and Stepford UFC. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
Is Stepford East. This train is for Stepford UFC. The next station will be High Street. Is a metro service to Stepford UFC. The next station will be High Street. Now approaching High Street. Please mind the gap between
Yeah, I
the
think I
train
will
and
go
the
back to
platform.
Stepford Central. Might put us a bit over an hour, but that's fine.
22:41 Metro service to Stepford UFC. Calling at Whitefield Lido and Stepford UFC. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
This station is High
Train
Street.
on this one is
This train
555,
is
and the
for
other end
Stepford
is...
UFC. The next station will be Whitefield Lido.
Yeah, it was 555097. Yeah, I had to mute the microphone there for a moment.
Is a metro service to Stepford UFC. You're now approaching Whitefield Lido. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Calling at Stepford UFC only. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
Is Whitefield Lido. This train is for Stepford UFC. The next station will be
Yeah,
Stepford
getting back
UFC.
to Stepford Central from here. We'll have completed one of the routes already. It's crazy that there's 2 drivers, 2 dispatchers, and 1 guard.
Is a metro service to Stepford UFC.
The dispatcher to
The next
driver
station
ratio
will
and
be
guard to driver
Stepford
ratio is
UFC.
insane.
Now approaching Stepford UFC. Change here for services to Whitefield. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This train terminates here. All change, please. Is Stepford UFC. This train terminates here. All change, please. Thank you for travelling with us.
I guess he decided to leave. And then we're going to go back to, actually, just next leg.
The train now standing at platform 1 is the 2247 Metro service to Stepford Central. Calling at Whitefield Lido, High Street, Stepford East, Four Ways, and Stepford Central. This train is formed
Guess
of
he
10
decided not
coaches.
to guard anymore, he wanted to drive. I'm looking at the songs in the playlist here. And one of the songs coming up is called Kung Fu Love Tree. What a wild name for a song. There's another train scheduled to come in here. Might be Matthew there? I don't know. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it is.
This is a metro service to Stepford Central. Calling at Whitefield Lido, High Street, Stepford East, Fourways, and Stepford Central. The next station will be Whitefield Lido.
At least Jay gets to dispatch a couple trains there.
Approaching
So,
Whitefield Lido. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
overshot the sign a little bit, but whatever.
Is Whitefield Lido. This train is for Stepford Central. The next station will be High Street.
Obviously, M on there is
a metro
for Metro.
To Stepford Central. We are now approaching High Street. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
You know, I think this is actually my first time going this way on this branch.
Stepford East, Fourways,
I think.
and Stepford Central. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm gonna look at the departure board.
Is
It looks like it's just me and the other guy.
this train
Random,
is
I don't know
for
where he's
Stepford Central.
driving at, but
The next station will be Stepford East.
now we
Is
got
a metro
Stepford
service
East,
to
Fourways, and then
Stepford
Stepford Central, and that's it.
The next station will be Stepford East.
I don't know why I slow down
Now
here.
approaching Stepford East. Change here for services to Barton, Erily, and Morganstown. Please mind the gap between the
I'm
train
actually going
and
to
the platform.
platform D this time. Usually I always go to C.
Central. Calling at Fourways and Stepford Central. This train is formed of 10 coaches.
Slight overshoot of the sign once again. And because of that, I actually didn't open the front door.
Stepford East.
Even though it probably could, but...
This train is for
Oh.
Stepford Central. The next station will be Fourways. Is a metro service to Stepford Central. Now approaching Fourways. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
This train is formed of 10 coaches.
This station actually reminds me a lot of the Prudential stop in Boston on the Green Line.
Is Fourways. This train is for Stepford Central. The next station will be Stepford Central. Is a metro service to Stepford Central. The next station will be Stepford Central. Now approaching Stepford Central. Change here for services to Stepford Airport Central, Beachley, Benton, Stepford Victoria, and Willowfield. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This train terminates here. All change, please.
And obviously, like I said to him, and obviously you guys already know,
Stepford Central.
this is our
This
final
train
stop of
terminates
this
here.
video.
All change, please. Thank you for
Done
travelling.
4
with us.
routes, 3 of them one direction, this route both ways. So we're gonna quit the menu, go back or go to passenger roll to do our outro. No, metro, back. Passengers, Metro, Stepford Central is right there. We'll do, yeah, I guess we'll spawn right here. But yeah, anyways, so if we take a look at the map now, you can see, like one person said, it's a mess of a map. You can see the new metro service here, and you can see all 5 services at Morganstown. I want to see if I can, oh, this goes down to the metro level here. Okay. Or does it? Oh, this may not actually. No, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so we did run into some problems, but we at least got the, got back going again to, return back to the game and continue on, and actually finish this video this time, which I probably could have done last time, I guess, but whatever. Like I said, it probably worked out in the best ends, so we could see Metro this time. But yeah, anyways, that is basically gonna do it for this video though, so hopefully you've all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a thumbs up, and of course, as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye!